Loki is often a misunderstood part of the Norse pantheon, being seen as evil by some and as trickster by others. Personally, I stand somewhere in between the two. There is even a lot of debate if he is a god or just a Jotun. It is a lot of times a matter of perspective and belief, and it varies from where you read about him. So, with that background, covering the different aspects, I would like to spin a few thoughts of my own about Loki. They are my own thoughts and beliefs. They are no more right than any others, and are only my own thoughts. Loki is blood brother to Odin, the Allfather, king of the gods, which means in some manner they have a kinship. Yet he is a Jotun, but many Jotuns are considered gods in a fashion. So who am I to judge if he is a god or not? For many of the other gods are half Jotun, including Odin himself. Just like some of the Vanir as well are considered gods, but they're not of the Aesir, they are of the Vanir. So who are we mortals to say what or who the gods feel classifies as a god? But I do agree it is an area we do not know as well as we would like to. But onward, for I have much to say on my thoughts. Loki is seen as a sly one and a trickster, but some tales speak of him being a god of fire, though might be confusion with Loki, the fire giant. But maybe they both are one and the same. Again, we have lost so much knowledge, it is hard to tell. Though there is a story, when they are in Utgard, of him having a contest against Loki. So it would be hard to believe he's having a contest against himself. So, in my personal thoughts, Loki is an entirely different being than Loki, though they have a similar name. Same as Utgard Loki has a similar name to Loki. Names are often the same. You have many names that coexist. How many Jameses are in this world? How many Scotts, Franks? The list goes on. I try not to say for certain the things that I know, for even the tales of the Eddas and of Saxo Grammaticus speak of him changing shape, and they often contradict themselves. But that is not all our misunderstanding of Loki, just the tip of the iceberg. For Loki is complicated. Many of the stories and myths of the gods speak of Loki both equally getting into trouble and saving the gods from trouble. Now, that being said, it was often the trouble Loki himself caused, such as Sif's hair, killing the otter, and so many more. Yet so many view Loki as evil, or perhaps that's the wrong word, as one who wouldn't associate with, much like a redhead stepchild is often treated in life. Now, why is that? Well, to me, it speaks of the fates and his own personal fate. He gave birth to the twilight of the gods through his offspring with the Jotun Angrboda. He ate the witch's heart. And with the children Fenrir, Hel, and Yogamander, which are fated to have roles in the end of the world. But that is not all, for Loki himself had a hand in why he is despised. On top of all of that, by handing a sharpened mistletoe to Hodor and encouraging him to throw it, he caused the death of Baldur the Beautiful, which I still feel was Loki playing a prank that just went too far. Though, in some of the tales it reads that he was doing it out of malice and intent. Again, who are we to say at this point? Maybe because he just didn't know when to stop, or maybe it was out of jealousy. Who am I to say? I mean, we don't know. All we know is what happened, or what will happen, or the tales themselves. So, thank you for listening. That is some of my thoughts on Loki. Be he a god or Jotun or something else. And I feel this tale has been spun long enough, and I'll save the second part for another time. Thank you for listening.